Well, thank you, Mickey. Florence Nightingale, I'm not. Definitely. Okay, so I'm chairperson of PEAT. PEAT is not a person, but PEAT is a family. PEAT is parents in Northern Ireland, it's our staff, and it's also our links with the University of Ulster and Queen's QUART Centre. Our mission is to help the children and the young people and the adults reach their full potential through ABA and support to parents and carers. And that still remains our mission. Our mission is not to see PEAT stay alive. In fact, our mission was to see that PEAT didn't exist and that statutory services would actually provide ABA, but that's still not the case. We do a lot of different things. We provide individual family support, so we employ behaviour analysts to go out to families, to their homes, to schools, and actually work with kids. Of course, I should say I'm a parent, and this is actually my wee boy Mikey, who is now 15. He's still severe autism, but I don't know where he would be without applied behaviour analysis and the work that my wife and the therapy team that do with him and the guidance from PEAT. So we work with the kids in their homes, providing that much needed support because that's where they live most of their time. We also organise fun activities. We can do banana boating and all sorts of different things, and this is for families. Families can come along and have a good time, network with each other, and share their own experiences. We also offer play days once a month, and the idea behind this was basically if you're a parent, it's hard to get babysitters. If you're a parent of a child with autism, it's practically impossible to get babysitters. So what we do is we actually provide supervised play at our monthly workshops, and the parents can go off and learn about effective intervention, ABA, and the kids can have a good time, which is a nice idea. More recently, we've done some weekends away for young people, and that turned out to be a great success. These tend to be more high-functioning young people, but they have a great time, they make friends, and this was, I think, funded by BBC Children in Need. This is our mission, is to train parents and professionals, parents and carers and professionals in the science of ABA. This was all started by Mickey back in 1997 or something like that. I remember going to one of the first workshops that Mickey ran in his own time at the University of Ulster in Coleraine, where parents came along and Mickey actually taught us about the science of behaviour and behaviour analysis. PEAT does other things. We organise conferences. Thank goodness that QUART is now starting to take on that role, because it's a lot of effort, a lot of time and energy has to go into organising conferences and of course bringing speakers from all over the world. And QUART doing that very successfully now, so PEAT can relax on that front, I think. Doing it together, of course. Publications, books, Parents' Education as Autism Therapist, published in, I think it was 1998, I'm not sure. Now translated into Japanese as well, is that right? And German. Okay. And of course, on the right-hand side there, we have a sort of a groundbreaking report that was published through funding from the Royal Irish Academy in collaboration with both Queen's and the University of Ulster. And that was, we used evidence from 100 families and maybe 60 professionals on what was required to help families facing autism. But that report and its recommendations were effectively ignored by those, the powers that be. And we do innovative things. We did a creative arts exhibition a while back, toured Northern Ireland with that, And some interesting things came out of that. We actually ran workshops for the kids how to do creative writing. They did animation, they did artwork as well. It was very nice. So one thing that we have done that is very innovative and sort of groundbreaking was to actually develop simple steps. Initially we got funding from BBC Children in Need and Big Lottery. And working with Stephen and Mickey and Corolla, we were able to bring training to parents who couldn't attend workshops or whatever, and that was the idea. We made a multimedia training package, so we thought it was a bright idea. So back in 2005 we got our funding and we developed Simple Steps, which was a hard copy parent training package. So you got a box with a DVD and a CD and a little book that told you about autism. There was real video footage of kids with autism, the problems you would face if you were a parent of a child with autism, how that was diagnosed, and what you should do, what can you do to help your child. And a lot of really good stuff in there in terms of curriculum and understanding science. And then, under Mickey's sort of coordination again, we actually thought, well, wouldn't it be a nice idea to translate this? We had demand from all over the world for Simple Steps. At that stage, PEAT, small charity, we weren't really in a position to roll out Simple Steps on a global basis. And so we translated into different languages through funding with Leonardo, into Norwegian, Spanish, and German. And we made hard copies again, and 1,000 copies were given out in each of those countries to help parents, which is great. About 2009, we thought, look, we're going to have to be sustainable here. We need a revenue stream to actually develop this. It'll help parents globally, and it might help actually bring some revenue into PEAT to help children in Northern Ireland as well. So we set up Simple Steps Northern Ireland Limited. Anyway. And that's available online now. So no matter where you live in the world, you can go online and you can sign up for Simple Steps online. And then in 2011, again, Mickey led us forward there with Stamp 2, and this involves Sweden, Italy, Netherlands and Iceland. Hope I haven't forgotten any countries. Anyway, so today is the launch of this version. But the difference with Stamp 2 is that it's online platform. No problem, Stephen. And the idea is that we will now have an upgraded Simple Steps that's going to help parents throughout Europe. Not just Northern Ireland, but throughout Europe, to actually learn about autism and the science of behaviour analysis and how that can help children with autism. So it's quite amazing in the fact that while children in Northern Ireland cannot still access ABA, we're actually helping parents throughout the world understand autism and ABA. Just to mention one last thing, we've recently received, I can't remember the exact amount, 470,000, something like that, pounds from Big Lottery Fund in collaboration with both Queen's and University of Ulster to address, or to try to help address, educational inclusion for young people with autism. This is an exciting project. One innovative aspect of that project is to actually use technology to assist us in intervention with our children. One thing I hate, I'm a parent, first and foremost. I'm a scientist, but I still don't like taking data. Okay? So if I'm facing a tantrum in a supermarket or whatever, I'm not coming out with my notebook going, yes, watching that, okay? One of the big problems we face is actually collecting this data, which we have to base our decisions on how we can then understand that data and what happens if we intervene and things like that. So we're working with the Centre for the Smart Environments Research Group at the University of Ulster as well as part of this to develop smart phone applications to actually help young people, help their parents to intervene. One aspect of it is called the Virtual Buddy app. So we're hoping that that will help kids who are maybe in mainstream, to manage their own behaviour. If they need help, they can get help. They can carry that in their pocket, which is it's an innovative approach. And that's all I have to say, except thanks to all the partners for being part of the project, and PEAT's really glad to be part of it. Thank you.